Hello everyone, must do 0063 back again, and let's kick off the boss of stage 4. It's Geezer. And for the most part, or at least at the beginning, we follow pretty much the fight as it was in I Want to Kill the Guy. And most people's reaction when they see this boss fight is one of absolute dread. But you know what? I think if they were going to put an I Want to Kill the Guy boss in here, they could have done worse than Geezer. I personally dislike the Boo boss more than I do this one. I don't quite get what all the fuss is really about with Geezer in the fight. In I Want to Kill the Guy, sorry. For the most part, it's generally fine. It's a little bit repetitive, but yeah, the one in I Want to Kill the Guy is easier than this one. So that's something, I guess. But yeah, well, in fact, it makes it even more surprising that people necessarily are so nervous about it. Although I guess obviously they don't know what's coming here, but the reaction to Geezer appearing is quite I wouldn't say baffling to me, because I suppose I could understand why. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I got so far first go. I guess I could understand why maybe people don't necessarily like this boss, but anyway, the I Want to Kill the Guy fight of Geezer is not really anything to worry about, in my opinion. Certainly not in the latest version, which has been ridiculously nerfed from what it was when in the very first version that I played. But anyway, yeah. The first two little bits start off pretty much the same, except there is now this, which we'll get to now see again. But yeah, okay, the very first move, 5 Goombas come flying out, and that is absolutely identical to how it is I Want to Kill the Guy. I think it is anyway. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's one more. I don't know. I can't remember the number. But second one of these little Mario. I can't remember what the damn name of the thing is. Pretty much as exactly what it was in the original. I can't remember the name of the damn thing. But a giant Goomba comes out as well as it. I'm going to call it a spine just so I can call it something. But this time, Geezer shoots a fire wave down to the floor. That's also the case for the hammer move as well. We now have an avoidance section, which, if you kind of stand in the corner, generally seems to work out okay. Either corner will do. There are some cases where it doesn't quite work out, and sometimes the shots that I think it's Malice that shoots out are really in the way. But yeah, for the most part, that's stand in the corner, both either side, whether Malice appears on the left or the right, go to the opposite corner, and you should be okay most of the time. Once you clear that, we go into the Zelda phase. So the first phase is the spiders, the second phase are, I can't remember what those things are called, but the enemies that obviously shoot the fire, and finally, of course, it's the bats. And I guess possibly the bats are the most intimidating thing, but to be honest, the Zelda phase isn't all that much. This is the really freaking annoying part of the Geezer fight, which you didn't even really see all that much of because they screwed up right at the beginning. I've already expressed my, not hatred, but fondness for non-Miku avoidance crap. That one is possibly the most evil one I can think of in the game. I would have originally said the one in the stage 5 fight, stage 5 boss fight, if I can get my words out and hit this Goomba. Jesus, you don't want to die, do you? But yeah, once I've now figured out how to deal with the one in stage 5, it's not all that bad. This one is, although there are some bits that you can try to kind of anticipate a bit, to my mind it's still seemingly random in places, and that's just really, really freaking annoying. If it were the same every time, then okay, fine. You might take a bit of time learning what you need to do, but once you've got it, you know what you're doing. And that's how I kind of feel about the Miku part of stage 5. As evil as it is when you're first trying to sort it out, it's not that random. So, yeah, I prefer the one in stage 5 over this one. Go! Yes! Right, well hopefully we get a better chance to have a look at it this time. And of course it's almost right at the end of the damn fight as well, so that's it's a pain in the arse to get there. So what you can see here is I'm kind of gradually moving up in a kind of a pattern. This bit is absolutely ridiculous. I hate it, but there you go, first go. Wow, unbelievable. See, please tell me I can dodge this. Yes! Amazing. Please don't mess this up. Metroid section. And please don't put these stupid bat type things over at the far left hand edge of the screen at very specific points. I don't mind it so much at certain points in time when there's not much else to worry about. I don't want one on the left hand side of the screen about now, which you have obliged with, but just about managed to squeeze through. Watch out for the lava. You pretty much need to be not double jumping really at any point now until the lava is raising, otherwise you'll probably end up getting screwed. I don't want one over on the left hand side about now, so if you could not be on the left hand side now, this would be great. Oh, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. Frick, frick, frick. Oh, how long am I now going to spend beating this? Have a look at the timer up there. We'll call it 1 minute 45. I don't know if I'll end up cutting anything out. Depends on how long this takes. But 1 minute 40... 1 minute. Oh, I wish. 1 hour 45 to get to this point in time. 4 seconds left on the geyser clock. Let's find out, or let's see, what the clock stops at when I finally beat this bastard. Oh, nuts. It wasn't really the Metroid bat type things that was causing the problem there, it was the lava. I was so conscious of not being not being in the air that I was worrying about the giant kid head which came along. And yeah, I just got overwhelmed and made a mess of things with 4 seconds on the clock. If I dodged that one little bit there with the lava coming up, I'm pretty confident I'd have seen out the last 3 seconds or whatever. And to do the Miku bit on what was really my first real go, I'm not going to count that other one, that was stupid. But yeah, my first proper go at it, I can't believe it. I don't know if there is a really, really good strategy for dealing with the bats, but I find if you tend to stay in the middle, at the very beginning, this isn't going to go very well, flip. If you tend to stay in the beginning at the very middle, it tends to give me the best chance of getting through it. But, to be honest, there are a myriad different ways you could do that. Right, start off here, little up movements. Now that would have been the random bit coming up with the giant fruit that kind of splits apart. But I didn't get to it. And, well, I say random. They kind of split apart into smaller fruit, and they hurtle at you at pretty much breakneck speed, that you do incredibly well if you could ever react in time as it happens to dodge it. So you kind of need to be prepared a little bit for how it's going to move, or how it's going to split apart. They might perhaps only split apart in maybe one of 2 ways, but still, I cannot determine any way to definitively predict how they're going to split apart, and that's what makes it annoying as hell. I don't want to tempt fate, but as you can kind of tell at the moment, that Miku bit is seemingly being the bit that's causing me the most trouble. Apart from general clumsy mess-ups right at the beginning, when I was first doing this. That phase there, provided you don't stand directly under one of the things as it's shooting downward, I really don't think that's too much of a cause for concern. To be honest, the bats part of the Zelda phase is the most irritating, but yeah, it's not as irritating as this. What I especially love on that phase as well, not that it makes any difference to me now, because I know what's coming, is the fact that the screen goes completely bonkers. As if we were watching a TV programme and the cable feed just got cut or something. So that you can't actually see what's upcoming in the rest of the fight when you get got. Now, again, granted, that's not so much of a problem now, because obviously I know exactly what's coming and when. But when you're trying to figure stuff out, it can be quite helpful to have a little quick look once you've died to see what's coming. But no, it doesn't afford you that luxury. Which I guess in some ways is kind of clever. I want to kill the guy. The game itself actually employs that strategy rather well, in that when you die, the screen fades to black. So you don't get to see what's coming next. Thank you for that rupee positioning. Thank you again for this one. I think I don't know how to get it this time either. This rupee does not want to behave, and I don't think it's going to behave again here. You made that very awkward. Yeah, don't stand directly under any of them firing and you should be fine. So for this bit I tend to like to stay in the middle and then kind of, I don't know why, but move to the right and jump. Glorious demonstration. If anything is going to screw me up on the Zelda phase, it's going to be the bats. Phew, excuse me. Random fact, when I have the ability to control my sneezing a bit more than when I'm playing a game, I am particularly quiet. But not when I'm in the middle of trying to dodge various things on screen, and when my hands are pretty much confined to the keyboard. Random fact of the day. I'm pleased to see that that avoidance phase is behaving itself. Now that I've said that, cue at least 5 deaths in a row next time we get back to it. Whoops. Right, can I be a bit better here? Yeah. And then jump again so that the bats get lured up to the top so you can then hopefully run underneath them. Now, hopefully these bats are going to stop for a little while, giving me enough time to collect the rupee. Yay! Back to this crap. Gah, one cherry hanging around right at the end there where I didn't want it. After a while, not quite there yet, since I've only been going about, I don't know, I'd estimate just under 15 minutes. Hey! Yeah, as I was saying, before I was so rudely cheated out of that current run. Yeah, 15 minutes. I've not got to the point yet where I'm quite so frustrated or exasperated by having to do this damn Goomba section at the beginning yet, but it does start to get just that little bit repetitive after a while. I did like the fact in the original that once you got to the, I think it was the Metroid phase, that the fight started at that point in time, so you didn't have to do the Goomba phase, or I'm pretty sure there is I'm misremembering, there is a Zelda part to that boss fight, I'm pretty sure as well. So yeah, that's a big benefit. That's a big boost, and yeah, I suppose I really would have appreciated a. Oh, I didn't jump. First time that got me though. Yeah, I really would have appreciated a save at some point during this fight, so I didn't have to keep doing the Goomba bit over and over again, or indeed the Zelda bit. If the thing started at the end of the Miku phase, or indeed potentially even saved again after the Miku phase. Wouldn't help me on all but one of these runs, but of course I did get to the Metroid phase, and if I had done, and the thing had think there was a save point there, then at that point in time I obviously would have been fine, and I could have just restarted from Metroid point every single time from then on. But no, this fight is an all-in-one go type of deal, which is fair enough. I must admit, I thought the save... See, told you that was going to screw me over, didn't I? I had to, obviously, I had to kind of jump and be prepared there because the shots that Malice were firing were going right in the corner, so I had to do something there, but, yeah. Yeah, I suppose I don't really mind that there's no save in between. It's not so insanely difficult. It's just a little tedious after a certain point in time. Come on now. I predicted 5 goes when it would stuff me over, so I'm doing a pretty good job there. Having to make me work, but okay. You say take out the randomness of the Miku. Well, that I hope is the first and only time that I die to that phase. I should not be dying to that. It might in fact mean that the only phase I have now not yet died on is the Zelda Spider phase. And no, that's not a cue for you, game, to completely screw me over during that phase. By the way, this bit, if you can, I'd advise getting over to the left of the, I know it's not called a spine, but I'm going to call it that, because when the fire shot or shockwave comes down to the floor, thank you, the spine shoots off to the right, so you can be over on the right hand side of it, and if you're far enough away, you'll be fine. Also, if you time a jump well enough, you'll also be fine. But yeah, if you can get on the left hand side of it, the spine thing will always move to go off screen to the right. So yeah, if you can get to the left of it, great. If not, just be prepared to take evasive action if necessary. Thank you. Oh, that one again. I don't know if I'm slightly off-timed this or what, but that cherry is getting right in the way now. And it's hard to avoid if it comes at you directly horizontally, because it also seems to be timed so that it's going right across horizontally and right in the middle of the gap between the ceiling and the platform I'm standing on. I don't know whether my timing is slightly off, or whether you're just being bloody annoying at the moment. But well, you're definitely being bloody annoying at the moment, I can guarantee that. But whether it's all your fault, or whether it's partially my fault because I'm not moving at the right times in order to stop that from happening, I don't know. As I said, that section does seem to be somewhat random, and I don't quite fully understand how all the how the cherries follow their patterns. I can keep myself getting reasonably entertained with the music as well. Right, here's for another go at it. Right. You can obviously tell that I'm kind of moving slightly to the right there at the beginning as well. That's to kind of give myself enough time to kind of move back to the left and screw up. But no, what I'm trying to do is kind of time it so that I reach the top platform just as the kind of the giant cherries appear. Now, I have no real definitive idea of how, let's say, they split apart, etc. But I have hit on some kind of a strategy for at least being successful a half decent proportion of the time by being at the top when the first one splits and jumping down to the second bottom platform and then kind of jumping or just moving to the left out the way. But it's very hard to describe. That's an absolute bastard of a pattern that you've given me here. But yeah, there could be an absolute myriad of ways in which you could avoid that avoidance stuff. But if you can find one that you can get to work a good proportion of the time, then to be honest, I stick with it and don't try and find another one. You'll spend an inordinate amount of time trying to find anything better, and you, in all likelihood, you probably can't. Yeah, just do whatever the hell you find works for you. This will probably be the last go before I cut the recording a bit. Right, so I'm kind of moving off to the right so that I can hopefully get to the top at the end of this phase, but I seem to be getting there a bit early at the moment. I was actually too late there, in that I couldn't get back far enough to the left. Sorry, get far enough over to the right so that I could jump and avoid the cherries and drop down. So I tried to go back to the left and, well, that didn't work out very well. Yeah, that recording's gone on for at least about 20 minutes, so I might just cut it there in order to stop it going on for too long. And yeah, we'll pick this up in just a second. Right, so let's get back into Giza. I know it's probably only been about 20 minutes or so, but yeah, I was kind of thinking about now whether, because I'm not sure about whether or not how much failure I want to upload, particularly of a boss fight over and over again, although I suppose it's probably more interesting than parts of levels, certainly when it starts becoming this tedious, shall we say, or time consuming. But yeah, we'll kind of see how that goes. Unfortunately, because I'm not now using Camsoft, I'll get out of the way, stupid hammers, and using a different means of recording, it's actually very difficult for me now to do start a kind of recording mid gameplay. What I could do with Camsoft was set up, maybe I can with this, I haven't actually really looked into it, and perhaps I should have done, but I knew kind of off by heart, or indeed I'd set one up, a kind of set of shortcuts for Camsoft, so that I could just kick when I got to a certain point in a boss fight and had a little breather, I could just kind of activate the shortcut and kick the video off. At the moment I can't do that, so I am kind of stuck, almost having to kick the recording off from the beginning and seeing how it all goes. So yeah, at some point, I don't know, I might just obviously have to kick the recording off from the from the beginning, and probably not talk very much, or talk at all in it, indeed, and then just in the kind of post-editing phase, just cut out, the Goomba phase and the Zelda phase or whatever, and start things off maybe from the Miku avoidance section, or include, stupid deaths or whatever, try and make it somewhat humorous. But I think there's probably a certain point beyond which you probably won't want to watch the Goomba phase or whatever over and over and over again. Too bad I've got to actually complete it over and over and over again, but that doesn't mean you have to watch it. I knew you'd appear on the left-hand side of the screen just to give me a bit of a panic. Although, in all honesty, if you are going to appear, of course you're going to appear. When you appear, I do prefer Malice to appear actually on the left-hand side of the screen and force me to go right, rather than the other way round. I don't know why. The dodging just seems to be ever so slightly more lenient when I can position myself on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but in terms of how that attack works, but it just seems to work out that way for me anyway. Great. Yeah, going back to my initial reaction when I saw it was Geezer again, I was pretty much just like, well, bring it on. Thinking about kill the guy, I honestly don't think Geezer is all that much to get worked up about in Kill the Guy. I'd beaten the version of this in the original, albeit a fight with a save point in the middle, but, you know, I was like, okay, I've beaten you twice before, in 2 different incarnations before, bring it on. This is the hardest version. The Metroid phase is, in my opinion, the hardest of any incarnation. The Miku avoidance crap definitely elevates the difficulty all in itself, but the Goomba stomping phase and the rupee collecting phase are all about as much of a muchness from game to game, really. Right, time for bats. Right, should be okay now, at least into the Miku part. Oh, we should have been. Jesus. Okay, that's used up my luck for the run. I have no doubt about that. Told you. I was slightly too slow, I think. I couldn't get far enough over to the right for where I wanted to be, but even so, to be honest, those giant cherries looked like they were not all that kind, and I think they might well have probably got me anyway. It's at this point in time I start playing games with the Goomba phase and trying to stomp them all without touching the ground, all in one go without touching the ground. at least on the first phase, when I don't have a spine to worry about or hammers to worry about. I never really bother worrying about playing that game on when the hammers are around, but first phase it's like, hey, I really achieved something when I could stomp on all the Goombas in one go without touching the ground. Thank you. I'd say about 90% of the time that phase seems to be okay, but yeah, there's just the odd, the odd 10% of times where that avoidance bit, it just seems to, Malice's attacks just seem to be really awfully timed and positioned. So if you are in the extreme corners on both sides, then you will avoid, well, you will definitely avoid the attacks from above. If you're right in the bottom corner anyway. If you're having to jump, then no, you won't. But yeah, here, Beelzebub will not get me with any of these shots. And ditto for if you happen to be in the right hand corner. So that's where I like to be positioned. That was a nice rupee spider phase. I'm sure you'll screw me over accordingly in another phase. Ah. Damn it. Be up in the air, please, so I can walk under you. All good. Right. Try and get the timing a bit better on this. I think I'm a bit early here. I'm definitely a bit early here. I've got a feeling I'm going to get screwed over by one of these cherries. No, not the one I thought I was. And if I'd avoided that, I might have been okay. But no. I might give this a few more goes, and then regrettably I think I might have to start employing some cutting to when I get to the Miku phase again. Damn. Not least because I've kind of run out of things to say. Like I said, I could be here for ages. Why could I have not just done that when I had done the Metroid phase when I had just 4 seconds left on the clock? I didn't even notice that you could do that before. Not that it makes any difference to anything, but if you move left and right during the phase when these things spawn onto screen, you can you move really quickly from side to side. That's not good. Mind you, the first bat there set off, the middle bat set off right at the beginning, just to completely screw the timing up there. I kind of want them to move a little bit more together, or not the middle one to move first, but if the middle one moves first and a lot sooner than the one on the right hand side of the screen, then yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get screwed over by timing like that. I don't seem to be doing a really good job here at getting myself into nicely, easily dodgeable positions to dodge the spine when it's going to shoot off. Yep, on the right hand side, definitely make me work for my and put in a completely balls spread shot pattern. Damn. Could have almost had it in one go though. It's at times like this you need to keep yourself entertained or something. I've done it again here. I don't want all hammers on one side, particularly, although you happen to be easily dodgeable there. Well, I say easily. Yep. Make me walk. Ah. Okay, fine. Ah! Oh, God. Oh, I'm having fun getting that one now. Oh, no, you're alright. Come on, I'm proud of not dying yet on the spider phase. Let's keep that up. Got to at least have one part of this boss fight that's not cool, that hasn't caused any problems. I thought, if any, it would probably be that phase, but, oh well. Yes, thank you. You moved at the same time. That means the right-hand bat is lower. Yeah, this might be my last go before we start cutting. Yeah, I think that's been long enough on the boss fight, to be honest. I will keep an accurate representation of the time, deaths, etc. But yeah, I think the next time you see me, it'll probably be at the Miku phase. I'll have to start the recording off from the beginning, but yeah, I'll have to do some post-editing, etc. But yeah, we'll see how this all gets pieced together. What? Bull! Really? 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 God damn it. you supposed to know whether or not to jump or not? Come on, yes. Finally. God damn. It's the second time I've got to this phase. Ah. Oh, that's not nice. Right, not in the left corner, please. Oh, you sod. You sod! Right, the left corner! Oh, do all that flipping Miku with one crap again. Oh, bugger! Why can't the end of that be nicer as well? Jeez! Bloody hell. Oh, flipping heck, man! Oh, there's just no telling how high you should jump there, if at all. Are you supposed to somehow predict based on the height of that cherry that, in that split second? That's bull! Oh. Oh. Great. Great. Yes. Now, come on. Don't be ridiculously unfair at the crucial time. Like now, you son of a bitch! Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! Come on, please be kind. I don't know if there's anything wrong with my strategy here, or what. You know, if it's I suppose if it's a little bit dependent on you not putting one of these stupid Metroid enemies right on the left-hand side of the screen at a particular point in time, then is there something wrong with what I'm doing? But what else are you supposed to do? Oh God, no! Why did I do that? That's completely stupid. Oh, freaking hell! I go. Bollocks. Random bollocks. Oh. Come on now. By the way, I'm leaving all the Miku avoidance stuff in just because I think it's random enough and annoying enough to kind of leave in as a demonstration of just how bloody stupid the thing can be. Oh, come on now. Yes, 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 yes. Die! Whew. See ya. Bye. Hi. Save, 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 save. Oh my God, that's annoying. But we're done. Say goodbye to stage 4, say goodbye to Geezer. Thank flipping Christ. I will pick up stage 5 next time. Cheerio.